you got it locked on Roadium Radio.
Hey Tony, drop that. What bass?
I bet. Dr. Dre in the place to be. Co-rockin' shit with my homeboy Steve. After Roadium, get stupid, yo. Don't think that you can get none of Dre, the motherfucking doctor, the bitch hopper, the sucker motherfucking stopper. I'm fucked up, so don't mind what I'm saying. I'm just kicking it with Steve, Tony, A.M., Susan. Yo, we be choosing dope shit to put in a mix. Know what I'm saying? We kick shit like and that's a fact. And if your shit ain't in the mix, you know it's whack. And that ain't no bullshit. I'm kicking facts on a serious tip. Word up, Dr. Dre's in full effect doing serious damage, boy.
Tony, hey! Tony, hey! When you're ready, go.
Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio episode 160. 160. And if you guys know math, only 40 more, and we'll hit episode 200. But and it's actually going by pretty fast. But you know what? Let me just give a few minor announcements. Once again, many of you are still inboxing me. Just to let you guys know, I just post on Facebook and I get out. Okay? If you guys message me on there, I rarely ever read my messages on Facebook. Hit me on Instagram or email me at roadiumradio@gmail.com, roadiumradio@gmail.com, and I'll get to those in a timely manner. Give me time because sometimes I get like up to 50 emails a day. Or just hit me on Instagram on the inbox and I'll get back to you there. But I rarely ever read my inbox on Facebook. I say that because many of you guys have been hitting me up in the comments. Are you still accepting music? Yes, of course. So just email me your music, if you have any videos, and a short bio, okay, at roadiumradio@gmail.com. With that being said, Freaky Tales, not this Friday, but next Friday, okay? Make sure you guys subscribe to Freaky Tales. I'm going to have a special guest. Many of you guys have been asking about the Spice Smuggler. He'll be on soon. He just hasn't given me a date, so please bear with me on that one. Okay, other than that, let me see. Ads, yes, we're still selling ads. Here's the problem with the ads, that many of you want to buy ads, but want to pick and choose on what artist you want to place your ad in. We don't do it that way. If you send us your ad and you purchase an ad, whether it's a one purchase ad or 2 weeks or for 1 month to promote your album, your business, whatever it may be, we place it when we decide we're going to place it. So with that, other than that, you know what? If we have any other announcements, I'll announce them during the next break. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce my very special guest, Yo Quiero Silla.
Hola, 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 hi.
Did I get that right?
Yes, you got it right. You got it right.
Cool.
If you
I was
forget,
practicing.
I've got it tattooed right
Oh,
here.
okay, cool.
Yo quiero. Yo quiero.
Yo quiero. Okay.
Do you say yo quiero or do you say yo? Because I get corrected every time I'm around like Spanish people. Yo.
Okay, Joe.
Yo.
Now, let me ask you, why Yo Quiero Silla?
Because I want people to want me. It started with an Instagram name, and I'm like, at first it was Silla the Thrilla, and I'm like, that sounds like a porno name.
Silla Thrilla?
Silla the Thrilla. Yeah,
the Thrilla.
that was my DJ name. Yeah, at first, and then people would always look at me like, that sounds like a porno name, and I'm like, okay, I should probably change it. And then when I wanted to do my Instagram, I was like, let's think of something, and I thought of Yo Quiero Taco Bell, and I'm like, well, Yo Quiero Silla, but it's Silla. So my first name is Priscilla. So Silla.
Okay.
So there we go. I want people to want me, not need me.
Want me, not need me. Okay, everybody, Yo Quiero Silla.
Yo Quiero Silla. Hold on.
So you know what? I wanted to ask you because I didn't realize that until today you drove from Vegas.
I live in Vegas, yes.
Wow.
Soy Las Vegas. I would say I'm Mrs. Las Vegas, like Mr. Las Vegas says
Mrs.
it.
Las Vegas,
but
yeah.
shout out to Mr. Las Vegas and Sofia Maria, Silly Vibes, all the Latin artists out in Las Vegas. I love you, support you. Yeah, I live in Las Vegas. I've been a DJ for 10 years straight doing my thing. That's what brought me back to making music. I wanted to come up with something that was new. And I decided to make Trap Cumbia, kind of like a new Selena, but I don't want to tell anybody that. But, you know, there really hasn't been somebody that has taken her place respectfully. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but nobody has ever full out, you know, maybe done that without copying her. I'm not trying to copy her at all. Like, I love her, respect her, who isn't influenced, inspired by Selena, Mexican or not, you know. But I think Mexican, Latin music, Mexican music, they need more women in it for sure. I was at the Latin billboards and I'm playing, this is how I created Yo Quiero Silla. It was on Cinco de Mayo or Mexican Independence Day at Caesar's Palace. I'm a main DJ at Caesar's with Caesar's Entertainment. Okay. So they would use me for all of their big artists. So I would open for and close for, let's say, Luis Miguel, Enrique Iglesias, I mean, Guns N' Roses, Madonna, Mariah Carey, like everybody. Yeah. That's so dope. When I would do this after party, I think it was, Luis Miguel, all the music played all night, it's all male dominated, like every single song, except for maybe a Selena one in there and a couple others, you know, which is, I don't know, it was upsetting to me. And then as a DJ, I know all these remixers, so I'm like, why didn't I think about this? I can have my remixer friends help me make my music. Like, period. It's done. And then all of a sudden, I have an album out. And I was very specific. I wanted Mexican sounds. I don't want reggaeton sounds at all. I wanted complete Mexican sounds. I'm like, does it sound like Mexico City when you hear it? Yes. Okay, perfect. Done. Let's do that. And let's write it. I really wanted something new, something colorful, and something that, you know, the little girls or even the older women, like when I perform, they go crazy. It's really cool. It's honestly, it's life-changing. It's to see your vision come to life. It's the best feeling in the world.
That's awesome. You know? That's awesome. You know what I mean. You know, the reason why I asked you that you drove from Las Vegas, I wanted to ask you, how was your drive coming over here knowing LA traffic?
I jumped the gun. You know, I listened to chill music. I really wanted to meditate, so that kept me really calm. It took about 7 hours today for some reason. It took forever. 7 hours. Hey, but that means that CALI's back, so I'm happy with that. I'm cool. I'm totally cool with that because I would drive here in quarantine and it took me like 3 hours. It took me 30 minutes to get, you know, from here to, say, Calabasas.
Right. So
it was awesome.
Well, 7 hours, damn. Oh, you know what? I say that to say this, that I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being on time. It's weird that for some reason, people that have flown in or people that have driven 7 hours, 6 hours, 4.5 hours, they all show up on time. It's the guys that are local that show up late or they cancel. It's so crazy.
Get it together.
Yeah, get your shit together.
Get it together.
Now, where originally are you from?
I was born dead on Friday the 13th in El Paso, Texas.
Friday the 13th.
Yes. My twin ate me. I'm a twin. Hi, Pam. I love you.
So from El Paso,
Texas.
So you grew up there all your life, or?
I didn't grow up there. My mother married a man, and he brought us to Colorado, Greeley, Colorado. But we would always go back to Texas a couple times a year.
So from Texas, Greeley, Colorado, Texas, Greeley, Colorado.
Yes, to Las Vegas, lovely Las Vegas, and I've been a DJ there for 10 years. I mean, how deep do you want to go in? You want to start my bio? Let's just say music has been in my blood since I was in my mom's womb. I would say since I was conceived. This is all I've ever done. And at the same time, it makes me feel now, not people who do know me, they're like, man, Scylla just doesn't give up. She just doesn't give up. You know, they could roll their eyes at me certain days. It could bring me down. you know, because I'm resilient. I don't give up. The only way I know how to live my life is to live it the way I want.
But that's a good thing. You're going after what you want.
Regardless. So for here now with quarantine and honestly not working for a year, that put a damper in the finances. But I'm all in. I have nothing but my heart to give.
Yeah, yeah.
Like all in.
What year did you end up moving to Vegas?
I moved to Vegas in 2008.
Now, did you have friends already over there? So you just went by yourself? You just like...
I moved by myself. I didn't know how Vegas works. I didn't know anything. I mean, I worked in radio previously in Denver, so I was trying to look for a job in radio. I got a part-time job in radio, and then I was a cocktail server at the Golden Nugget Pool. That's where I met Sofia Maria.
Okay.
And the food and beverage director, for some reason, he loved me, and he wanted me to be a cocktail server at the pool. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. There's a Shark Tank in the middle. Have you ever been there? It's great. And it changed my life, to be honest with you. I was like, I've never made more money in my life. And I bought me my own little studio. I bought all my instruments. I grew up playing the violin and the guitar. I taught myself guitar. And I actually sing country, so that I made some country songs. And I went to Nashville, and that didn't work out, but I made it pretty far.
Right,
you know. And then I decided to let that go, get back to broadcasting.
Right.
And I saw a female DJ at the Cosmopolitan when it first opened. And to be honest with you, in Denver, I grew up in radio there. There were no women DJs, none whatsoever. Absolutely not. They wouldn't even give me the time of day. They wouldn't even entertain the idea. They wouldn't.
Why do you think that was?
I mean, I don't know. I have no idea, because I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense to me, because I know what a hit song is. I know how to put I know how to put my shit together. Every time I DJ, everybody's always like, what you know about this? What you know about that? And like, they always are just double taking. Excuse me? Show me what you can do. Show me what you can do. I was like, you heard me what I can do, right? That's what brought you in here, right? I was like, stand back. Stand back. Get out of my way, bitch. And, or I'll just turn up the monitor too. They're trying to holler at the at the DJ booth. That's when I blast my shit. So anyways, I know what I'm doing. I may not look like it now, but or whatever, doesn't mean anything. I do.
Right. So you said that from the womb you were
an entertainer.
Yes.
Always. This is, I still feel, especially right now, I will say this because I told this to someone the other day. I said, you know, I feel like I created the person I always wanted to be. And I'm living that right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's never too late to live the life you want to live right now. And I tell people that as well. Like, never give up on your dreams, you know, pursue them, you know, and because my thing is this, I've known people that I knew were talented, but when one or two doors closed, they just stopped. They just stopped. And I feel bad because I'm the total opposite. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this work.
I mean, when I give up is the day I die, to be honest with you. If I give up on myself, I'm as good as dead. Mm-hmm. I really am. Yeah. So regardless, I'm still gonna do what I love. I'm still gonna make music regardless of the outcome. But now I've never had more people believe in me, and actually, want to work with me, follow me, and see. I've never had this many people believe in me.
That's
and
dope.
I feel like finally, after DJing, definitely helped get my vision, bring my vision to life. Mm-hmm. And now I'm very well packaged. I feel like I have everything pieced together. Yeah. And I'm not signed. I do everything on my own. I don't care to be signed by a label. What I really would love is like top-notch agent. I don't need a manager. I need a top-notch agent to put me where I need to be. I want to go on tour. I'm actually on a Banda tour right now. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. I wanted to ask you, because on your bio, it said that your parents, if I'm correct, were musicians?
My mom, no, not my parents. My parents were not musicians.
Okay, then maybe I must have read it wrong.
Yeah.
Because I read something, it was in Spanish, it means padres.
Oh, yeah, no, they're not musicians at all. Sorry, Mom. No.
Okay, then you must, Then I must have misread.
Yeah, my uncle is an amazing musician. He can shred. He's like in a Mexican rock band in El Paso. But.
Now, as a kid growing up in a Mexican home, what type of music were you raised with?
Honestly, it was very much the way, I guess, Selena's dad was. We had the Latin culture. So yeah, we would listen to the West Coast, like, you know, oldies but goodies. We would listen to Selena. We would listen to Tejano, Tex-Mex music. I didn't so much grow up listening to banda. You know, we were very Mexican American. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
And for me, I want to be up in my culture now. Yeah. You know, I know it. I know it musically, and I challenged myself. When I told you I was, you know, doing the parties for Cinco de Mayo, I said, you know, if I can't play for my people, then I don't belong here. And I did. So the first time I did that, I played till 5 a.m, and they didn't want me to leave. And then I'm done, and they're following me out of Caesar's Palace. Not out of the venue, in the whole like casino, chanting my name. It was so cool.
Really?
I wish I would have gotten on video, but
that's dope.
It was so cool. I mean, it's in me. My language is music, and you know, we didn't speak Spanish growing up either, or my parents only spoke it when my dad didn't want us to understand what he was saying, but we can understand it.
Right.
And I wanted to make sure that I want to embrace every part of my Mexicanness. You know, I want to sing in Spanish. So I wrote my album in Spanish. And I love it. So now people, when they see me and they talk to me, I'm like, it's going to take a minute. I'm sorry. I hired a Spanish tutor, so I'm learning. And I'm getting, the anxiety is going away, because that's a big anxiety for me. It really was.
That's dope. So now... you said you taught yourself how to play the guitar?
I taught myself how to play the guitar, my sister and I. She started first, and that took her time away from me. And I'm like, well, I guess I have to learn the guitar with her so we can play together. So, yeah, I taught myself the guitar. But we grew up playing the violin in church. Very musical. I mean, I always would listen to the hits, and I would feel like I knew what was a hit song or not. But the 90s were great. Right. So it was easy to spot a hit.
Did you listen to a lot of things like on the radio? Like, was it just pop? Was it rap? Was it country?
Everything. Absolutely everything.
Okay. So you just didn't stick to one genre?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I can do everything. So when people ask me, like, what do you DJ? I was like, I do everything. But I do it the way I program myself is I don't like for things to feel like work. So as soon as it feels like work, I need to take a step back. I need to switch it up, because I don't like work.
No, I know. I know exactly how you feel, because there was a time where I was producing, and I'll be honest, I was just tired of it. Yeah. It became like a damn job, and I didn't really love it anymore. So what I did, to be quite honest, I took like between maybe 10, 12 year break, you know, and I didn't miss it. But I will say this, towards the end of those years of me not doing no music, I would say that I knew that there was a part of me that was empty, and that I needed to complete it, and that was music again. You know, so when it's in you, it's in you. You can't you can't help it. It's who you are. I wake up, I turn on my music, and every day. Right. So with my venues, I do specifically like hip hop venues. I used to do Dre's, Cromwell downstairs. I would do just house venues too, and then pool parties are predominantly open format too. And then I do specifically Latin venues too. So I do it all, and I love it because it's fun, and I get to stay up in it and everything. But now since quarantine, I feel like music, I compared it to like a beehive. So now here's a beehive, but then in the beehive are all these different genres. And then now there's, what's the square things that, I always forget it. What is it called? Those are the subgenres in the beehive. So now everybody is just thriving, doing their own thing. And there's so many artists that I've never heard of that are amazing, that aren't on the radio. You know, so now it's just do your own thing, see what works, but I still want to make money and continue to live the life that I want to do.
and
right.
travel the world and get paid for it.
Right,
And
right.
share my gift with the world as well. So
Now, before you moved to Vegas, you mentioned that you were in radio in Denver.
yeah, Denver.
Okay, how did you get into that? Did you know somebody?
No. I always was drawn to radio, talk radio, especially. There was this show in Denver. Radio station was KS 107.5 when it used to be all hip hop, Sunday nights with Tony V. Another Tony. He was like Uncle Tony. He helped me get through the really hard time in my life. I don't really like my past doesn't define me, but it is part of my story.
Yeah.
So like my mother decided to flee the coop when I was 15. She said, kids, if I will end up in jail if I don't leave, or I will kill your father, pretty much. Like I have got to leave. We didn't understand it at the time, but we do now. So everything's fine. But that was a really hard time for me. So Tony V would have these shows on Sunday nights, and my sister and I would listen to him every Sunday night. And he just, I don't know, he became like a family member to me. And I just love the impact that he had on me, and that's why I wanted to do radio. And then I got to intern with him, and he became my mentor. And then I would listen to the awesome DJs at the radio station, DJ Jones, DJ Beds, and they were just so amazing, and I learned from them. And I would just go to every club they were at. I was underage too, and I would sneak in because I just wanted to hear them play. And I would go by myself. I just wanted to hear them play.
That's dope.
And I learned from them.
Well, you had a desire to learn.
Oh yeah, exactly. I had that desire. I had that passion, that drive, and I still do now. It hasn't changed. So I still feel like I'm my 12-year-old self, to be honest with you.
Well, you know, I know exactly how you feel, because even though I'm my age, I still feel like I'm 28, 29 years old.
Yeah, I was confused because you said, yeah, my son's going to open the door, and I was expecting a young boy, and he wasn't a young boy.
Now, why Vegas and not possibly LA?
I want to be in LA now.
Oh, okay.
I'm happy when I'm here. When I'm here, I'm just like, I come alive. It's exciting. Since I started working with Tony Rocks, shout out to Tony Rocks, he's really kind of brought my vision to life even more, or presented the right people before me. Yeah. And like you and everybody, every event that I'll do, it's just a dream come true. It's exactly who I wanted to work with. When I made my persona, who I am right now. Like, it's wild. Right. I love it so much. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. So from Denver, from Colorado, you went to Las Vegas. Now, when you saw this female DJ, now for somebody, let's just say that some young females thinking, okay, that's what I want to do too. What was the first thing you did when you saw this female? Did you say, okay, I got to save up my money, buy my equipment? How did that come along for you to start DJing? I just went up to her. I was like, oh my God, I love that you're a female DJ. This is amazing. This is so great. Like, can I give you a hug? I want to follow you. What do you want? Like, this is just so amazing. We became friends, and Steffi came, it's Joy. It was two of them at the same time, and they're amazing. And it's so cool just to be friends with all of the people, the women that I looked up to when I first moved to Vegas. Actually, before I moved to Vegas, I was doing these nightclub little tours of like 15-minute little shows. Okay. So I would put these little 15-minute shows and perform in nightclubs around. So it was like whatever songs were hot, but it was like Pussycat Dolls, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, like Britney Spears. Fun shows. And then I had dancers too. So one of my dancers introduced me to this producer who actually, if it weren't for him, I don't know how I would have evolved as a pop artist. Yeah. But he saw something in me. He's like, you're my Gaga. You're my Gaga. So he made me his Gaga. And then he was a DJ at the gay clubs. So he kind of taught me how to DJ, sort of. Okay. I already had it in me, like flow and storytelling, but I just needed to work on mixing, transitioning. Yeah. I still have that same very first set that I did, and I will use that set for auditions too when I need to audition live.
because I got let go of that gay club. They didn't like me. They're like, we don't want her. We just want you. And then I used that set just as fuel as my progression. So I don't like people to talk shit about me. So I fixed that real quick.
Okay, so now let me ask you this. So the reason why I asked you was like, what was your next step? Did you ever buy your equipment?
Yes. So yes, I did. I bought my own equipment. I was like, how much is this? Okay, well, it's an investment. Once I realized how much you get paid, or I just loved it. My grandma passed away when I moved to Vegas. I moved to Vegas the very next day after her funeral. And DJing and the music saved my life because it kept me just thinking about the music, kept my mind off the pain. When I finally got my first gig, it was like an hour gig I was opening, but it was $200 for that. It was $200 for an hour. And I was like, really? I could do this full time. Getting to play music full time. Why wouldn't I want to just do that? That would be dope. And then it took a while, a couple years, but finally when I met the right person, I mean, I had to fight for myself. I really had to. I told Steve Stevenson, the director of entertainment at Caesar's Palace. I called him out. I was like, "You're a flake. You're not hiring me. You said you would, and I miss out on gigs because you didn't hire me." And I was totally like bullshitting. And I told him this, and we're family now. So he gave me my first opportunity, and he let me grow too. He gave me room to grow because he believed in me. And I definitely wouldn't have been where I am now if it weren't for him, for sure, because he's the one that placed me at, as one of their top dogs.
Right. Now, during that time when you started DJing, I know you said you mentioned one female. Was there a lot more coming up?
There was definitely a lot more that I didn't know about.
Right.
But now I feel like I know all the female DJs in Las Vegas, and they're all amazing. They're all my friends, and all the boys, like all the male DJs, they'll have their crews, and I'm like, I want to have a female crew too. So one of my friends, we started playing at the Flamingo Pool a few years ago, and we had our own. We were the only like female DJ duo that was like consistent because we were dope, and we did the Flamingo Go Pool. We did Send Your Frogs. And we just rocked the party, and it was so much fun. So we were like, we want more women around us. So we started like a female meetup group, and we want all the ladies to be able to be friends and support each other. And I know not everybody is as evolved as us. Let's be real. But that's okay. Some people are introverts, and that's fine.
I just wanted to ask you this question because I have several female DJ friends out here, okay?
Which ones? Angie V, Bella Fiasco?
No. They do more like oldie stuff.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a little different. How would you say? They don't like to be called DJs. They be called soleras because they spin soul music. Okay.
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So out here, it's kind of a different scene. So now, I asked them, because I know there's a lot of female DJs. I go, have you ever experienced any hate? And they all said, yeah, from the dudes. Oh. That was my question. Have you ever experienced that?
I just let go of the agency that had me with, I just let go of the agency. I don't mind saying this because there was so much hate.
Really?
So much hate. Manipulation, just mad hate. Beyond. Always, I'm posting a picture of my feet overlooking the beach, and I'm talking about my self-growth, and they're like, what's wrong up with Scylla? Where's she going? And I'm like, can they just be happy for me? I mean, they went off on other things, but yes, even when I won Best DJ, you will only have this one time. Don't forget that. So you cherish this, and you be humble. You be humble, Scylla. And I'm like, why are you telling me this as on stage as I'm getting this award? I'm like, this doesn't mean anything. Just give it to somebody else. This is just to shut people up or shut me up. I don't know. Just take it. I worked my ass off to get here because I fought for myself. And anybody who thinks Otherwise, I'm sorry, they can go fuck themselves. And I said, listen, they're like, Sula, how do I get like you come up here? I'm like, well, thank you for thinking so highly of me. I appreciate it. I was like, well, you got to fight for yourself.
Yeah.
You got to fight for yourself.
I like your attitude.
I mean, the first time some bartender is talking shit about me at a venue, and he's saying that I'm not going to get on the mic. I'm like, well, I'm one of the only female MCs in Las Vegas. I'm like, he's flat out lying. I'm like, you know what? You're not here in Las Vegas. You need to come here and you need to fight for me. I just don't want to be a female on your roster. I was like, you need to fight for me. So he showed up the next week, listened to me for 4 hours, didn't tell me. And he's like, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And then I moved my way up to the top because I fought for myself. So I always tell everybody, I'm like, you got to have balls to stand up for yourself. If you don't, then good luck.
Sometimes it takes balls to be a woman. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and press pause right there, and then we're going to come right back because I want to talk about you tried up for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, my God.
Okay, we're going to talk about that, okay? So everybody make sure you call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody, let them know that Yo Quiero Silla is in the motherfucking building. We'll be back 10 minutes. You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch. You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Right about now, Eazy-E and Dr. Dre's in the motherfucking house.
Times are getting crazy, it's really hard to choose it. The Roadium's a spot to get funky, fresh music. Easy motherfucking E and my homeboy Dr. Dre. MC Ren is in effect, and you know we don't play. The Roadium is hitting, but you know you can't leave until you get a deaf ass tape from Steve. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape.
Yeah, man, I came all the way down to the Roadium spot, man, to pick up one of them NWA tapes, man. And I talked to homeboy Steve down there, man, and he said I'm fresh out of tapes, man. How the fuck you fresh out of tapes, man? He said cause they selling like hotcakes and shit, man.
Got my man going down.
Hey mom, what's for dinner?
Yo, this is how I see it. Tony A chilling at the Roadium with my homeboy Steve. Be on the lookout for our new 12-inch. The shit is dope. Yo, I like to say what's up to my homeboy Dre, my homeboy Prince of Jazz, and the girls with the big ol' ass. So Trip, I'm about to bust one more time to let y'all niggas know just what's on my mind.
In the morning, police at my door. Fresh as eat and squeak across my bathroom floor. Out my back window, I make my escape. Didn't even get a chance to grab my old school
And welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio episode 160. And we're just going to go ahead and jump right back into it. I know we left a couple of announcements out, but once again, if you want a shirt, if you want a hat, you want a sweater, hoodie, whatever the hell you want, male booty shirts, I'm just playing. Go to DOCUMIXERY.com, and there you get it. But without further ado, yo quiero Silla.
Hi.
So did I get that right?
Yep,
Okay,
you got it
cool.
perfect. When I say yo, you say quiero. Yo.
Quiero.
Yo.
Quiero.
Yeah.
I got that down. Damn, we're a duet. So, okay, so now, you know what? Back in the 80s, every DJ had to have a name. When you started DJing, did you give yourself a name?
Yes.
Okay.
My very first DJ name was Silla the Thriller.
Silla the Thriller.
Silla the Thriller.
Okay.
I mean, males would always jump to, that sounds like a porn name. And I'm like,
Say, Ron Jeremy gave me that.
yeah, I guess so. So now it's like, I kind of want my image. I kind of want that 90s Playboy, porn star, rock star vibes without being like, yeah,
Right.
I mean, that's kind of my image. Or not so much.
Sorta, kind
but
of.
Sort of, kind of, more poppy.
Right.
A little toned down, but yeah, that's definitely my image.
So,
Silla the
for how
Thriller.
long did you keep that name for?
It was a long time. I recently just became Yo Quiero Silla. I would say up until 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
For sure.
Now, tell us a little bit of you trying out for the
Oh.
Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Well, it was my dream to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader.
Hell
it
yeah.
still is my dream to be an NFL cheerleader. It really is.
Just, as long as it's not for the Raiders.
But you got to stick with the home team, and they just
know.
put a nightclub at the end of the
Really?
in the end zone. Yeah, it's a nightclub,
nightclub?
in the end zone. So in for halftimes, they'll have like big time DJs perform there for
Wow.
for the halftime show.
But if they're
every
losing,
game.
nobody's going to be dancing.
I don't think Vegas is going to care because we're actually becoming a real city. And I'm sorry we stole the Raiders from you, but it's time,
Give it up,
I'm,
right?
I'm so excited. I never thought I'd be a Raiders fan, but I'm a Raiders fan now.
So no more Cowboys?
No, I love the Cowboys. I posted my picture for a reason.
All right.
I'm going to start. Yeah, I love the Cowboys. Every time I see that star, it's like home. It's
All right.
like,
All right.
You know what I mean? It's like there's home. I'm home.
But you're showing love for your city.
For the home team, yes.
okay.
I mean, I live right next to the Raiders stadium, so
Okay,
yeah, it's
okay.
right there. I gotta be a fan.
Fair enough. So tell us, how did you try out?
Oh my God. So I'm really good at attracting what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a show on CMT called, Making the Team, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. And I said, I'm going to be on the show. They're going to pick me. They're going to call me. And so you have to apply online, or you just have to register.
Right.
Online with the DCC. So I registered, and then a few days later they called me up. We want to follow you around. I was like, oh my God, they're gonna follow me around the process. They think I'm that cool. Okay, cool. I did really well, but I didn't make the cut.
What was it looking for that they claimed possibly you didn't have?
I don't want to go there. I don't even know. To be honest with you, I don't even know. They like young looking girls.
I mean,
Like
how,
young, really young.
that kind of, okay. I don't know.
I agree, but that was how it was then. So
Okay.
that was a while ago.
Wow.
There we go. Two-time reject.
Okay, okay, you get rejected the first time. So then how soon after did you say, I'm going to try it again?
The next year. Now I had my first time under my belt. Now I knew what to expect. And
Okay.
I made friends with the cheerleaders. Actually, I didn't have a place to stay. And they invited me to stay with them at their house. And then,
Really?
Yeah. So I did some camps, and I, stretched a lot. I wanted to make sure I had the kick line done. And I still got rejected. And I was like, okay, we're good. We're good.
But you know what? You went out there and tried out.
Oh, but this time I sang. I was like, I opened up with a little something. I don't remember, but I sang, and I was like, wow, it actually sounded pretty good. But that didn't help my chances at all. So.
Did you ever meet Jerry Jones, the owner?
Oh, yeah.
You met him?
Yes.
Oh, he likes to meet
I had
him.
his sister, because she runs the cheerleaders.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
wants a cheerleader.
I'm gonna ask you a question. I'll put you to the test.
Okay.
You live right by the Raider Stadium. Say the Cowboys fly in to play the Raiders.
Oh, I'm there. I'm going for the Cowboys.
Okay, that's all I wanted to ask.
There you go.
Okay, we're good. Because
Yeah.
if not, I was about to end the interview right
Oh
now.
no!
I'm gonna play.
Oh no! I'll go in my cheerleader's uniform
That's dope. That's dope.
with my pom poms.
So 2020, if I'm correct, you start singing.
No.
Okay, educate me.
Okay. I made my album. It took a full year to make my album, so I made it in 2019.
2019.
Released it February 2020.
Okay.
Like 3 weeks before the shutdown.
What?
And I
time
wasn't
now?
sure what was going to happen, where the state of music was going to go. And I was like, well, this is just free time. I deserve some time off. I just want to take the time off. So I took the time off, and then, but it took a while for us to understand where the next way, the new world was going to go.
Right,
Right.
Okay.
It really did. And then honestly, 2020 was very challenging. I ended up getting like paralyzed. I was in pain in my neck.
What do you mean paralyzed?
Yeah, I had, why do I always forget? I had my C4, C5, C6, they were fractured. So I had them removed and replaced. And before I knew that, I thought I was having a heart attack or stroke. I was in a lot of pain the whole summer, like the whole year, up until October. I was like crippled. I was very crippled until one day my heart rate was so high, my friend took me to the emergency room, and yeah, my heart rate was at 217. My bones were pinching on my nerves, so that's why I was like this. And then I had to get, they slit my neck right here. So here's the scar.
Oh, wow.
Right there.
And how did that happen?
Partying too hard, banging my head at the DJ booth. I take very seriously, Do you believe me? No. You're
No, I
a
was about to
DJ.
say,
You don't
man,
believe me.
Exactly.
To be honest with you, I have no idea. I have no idea. Bad genetics.
Bad genetics.
Yeah.
Wow.
So after coming out of surgery, my right side went completely numb, as the doctors would say. But it was dangling. I couldn't do anything. So I believed that I would get it done and rehab it. And sure enough, now I'm back and I can lift up my arm and I'm good.
That's dope. Well, I'm glad. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad that you're doing well now.
Yeah, it was a tough year, but it made me who I am today. So
Yeah.
I cried a lot. I was in a lot of pain in 2020. Literally at the stroke of midnight, I was like, none of that. Right. So we're going all in. And so let's just say January 1st, made my first music video, got nominated for Best Latin Artist in Las Vegas, had my first Banda tour. Now I'm here in LA making a name for myself. But there's more that I forget, but I'm on the right track.
Oh,
Saint Scylla, the DJ, revamped my DJ name, released her first track on Pitbull's Globalization on Sirius XM radio, so she's doing very well. I'd talk about my two personalities.
It's all good. Keep going.
So let's just say I think I'm doing pretty well so far.
Okay, now, say you, 2019, you start putting together or you finish your album.
Yes.
How did you go about doing it? Me being a producer, did you contact producers? Did you start working on it yourself? How did that come about? And how many songs were on the album?
Okay, it was a progression. First, it was like, well, let's start off with one song and let's see how I sound and let's see how the response is and let's go from there.
Yeah.
So I contacted this producer, DJ Tooms out of Colombia, DJ City, and I said, here's my idea. I just wanted to remake one of my country songs and make it Spanish. Totally changed into a completely new song, and Sucio.
Okay.
No en mi culo, no en mi culo. And it was fun. And I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to make some real music. So I started writing. I worked with a couple producers. Finally, one of my DJ friends, he sent me a beat for La Diabla.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And then I sent it to Carlos, which is version 5. And he's like, can I add some things to it, if you don't mind? I was like, well, let me ask DJ Spare. And he's like, sure, yeah. whatever. So I felt like he worked his magic, and then all of a sudden, a remix or just a mastering of a song became an album. So Version 5 and I told him my vision, you know, and he had some amazing music in the works, and you know, we started Yo Quiero Silla together.
Okay.
We made Trap Cumbia, and thankfully he said this to me the other day. He's like, you know, I've gotten a lot of new opportunities, and I wouldn't be here if, you know, I didn't meet you.
Right,
and I wouldn't even be doing Latin music if it weren't for you too. I was like, really? That means a lot.
Yeah.
That means a lot. So we're like peas and carrots, Missy Elliott and Timbaland and Diddy and Mace in the 90s, I feel like.
Okay.
And we have our sound. I have my sound.
Okay. And was it just you and him for this album? Or
Not
was it...
just for this album. I have some crazy shit on my album because I am a DJ. I wanted people to show my diversity, but I wanted it to be like a concept album, but cumbia based. I wanted it to be Latin pop based. So
you, because you had told me earlier that you pretty much created your own genre.
I created the genre. I said I want trap cumbia. Nobody's trap cumbia or like twerk cumbia. Like, you know, I want the baddies, the Hana baddies to be twerking to cumbia. Like,
right.
I love Los Angeles Azules. They're my favorite, and like all the really amazing cumbia bands of cumbia. They're so great, but there's nothing quite like what I'm doing.
Right.
Which is a legit like pop artist type thing for the young kids, but it still pops with grandpa. Right.
So now,
if that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
Before your album dropped, did you release any singles before that?
Sucio.
Sucio. And then your album dropped, what, about a month or so after?
No, a year later.
A year later. Okay.
Yeah, I put the work in.
Now, let's go back to your first single then.
First Sucio.
What was the response that you got when it released?
You know, a lot of my DJ friends, they started playing it, and they would send me videos of them playing it. I was like, oh my God, wow. And then they would be like, look what I did to your song. And one remixed it, and he put like Lil Jon on top of it. And it even hit #1 at Club Killers, or #1 downloaded one day at Club Killers, which is a big DJ record pool. And actually those guys, if it weren't for Club Killers and DJ City, I have their support. For sure. Like, they are the ones who've mastered my music, helped me make my music, make sure everything sounds great. And, you know, we work together, so they support me. And I love those guys.
Okay. So now the album drops. What is the name of the album?
La Diabla.
La Diabla, so after the song.
After the song La Diabla. At that point in my life, I mean, I was... It was a breakup, but I changed. I evolved. I evolved into who I am today. So I embrace all of my, I don't think they're bad parts to me at all. To other people, they could be flaws. To me, they're not flaws at all. I'm just open about my flaws or who I am. And it's just an idea of like to challenge you to think outside the box, basically. And La Diabla, sometimes the devil wants a break and she just wants to dance. I mean, you got to be devious all the time. It's like, I just want to break from being La Diabla and let's cumbia.
Okay.
Or salsa or whatever.
The album drops.
Yeah.
What's the response you get?
The album drops. I threw an album release party. I invited all my friends. I invited all of Las Vegas media, DJs, and entertainers. I was so nervous. Because everybody that I know is in entertainment. Everybody's a critic. Everybody's a professional at what they do. So I didn't tell them that I planned a mini concert at the Hard Rock. And Hard Rock sponsored it, too.
Oh, that's dope.
So I had the backing of Hard Rock. I mean, I've got great connections.
It sounds like it.
Yeah. So Hard Rock's threw it. And I made all of my, I did all of my merch. I did all of my graphics. I co-wrote. If I didn't write it, Version 5 and we wrote it together.
Okay.
I had a band. I had a DJ. I had an opening act. It was a full-blown concert. So let's say they showed up to see J-Lo, and they didn't even know it. And I wanted that response. Yeah. So that's where I left off, and then COVID hit. So now I'm picking up where I left off right before that.
Right.
Exactly.
Man, you know what? I hear this story a lot, meaning a lot of people say, I dropped this and then fucking COVID hit.
Yeah.
Like I had Esteban Oreo. He is pretty much like him and Cartoon are like partners, Mr. Cartoon, the ink.
Yeah.
Okay. And they had dropped that LA Originals documentary on Netflix.
Great,
and they
great
were supposed
documentary.
they were supposed to go to I believe in Texas to host a film festival, the biggest film festival out there. COVID hit, so it was shut down.
Yeah.
We were supposed to enter our documentary in the same film festival.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So we just said, fuck it, let's just go ahead and release it on our website and go from there. So,
Wow. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, being locked down for a whole year, like,
I would say, honestly, I have to give a shout out to all the DJs because they saved my life in quarantine. The DJs that started DJing and in quarantine or wanted me to DJ on their shows or whatever, and like bigger platforms like on the East Coast, like La Mezcla and Latin Mix. And like they have their DJs opening and touring with like Bad Bunny and all the big guys, and they found me, and so now I'm signed with them as well as DJ, and I'm working on having my first radio show with them as well.
That's dope.
And I mean, they really saved my life because they played my music and they thought I was dope, and they kept it alive because, I mean, I'm older than I look. Really young, but I was like, I think I'm done with this. Like, I have no desire to put myself through this again. Like, I'm done. Quarantine really just beat the shit out of me, to be honest with you. But the DJs kept me and my music alive. My music alive, which kept me alive, and it kept me going.
Okay.
And it still does. They still do every week. Shout out to DJ Extreme, Marvelous Promotions, who's huge. I mean, again, if it weren't for the DJs, I got a lot of DJs who believe in me and support me and love me, and I just thank you.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah. It's always good to have support like that. Now, I know you told me that you are touring with the Banda band.
Oh yes, Saca la Banda.
Share with us. How did you come to meet them? And
the law of attraction. It was all part of my master plan. That I created for myself. You have the picture of me up in my suit behind the Impala. I chose that look because I said all these banda boys, all these corrido boys, grupo boys, they all dress the same.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dress like them. I'm gonna look like them. But I'm not gonna wear a bra. I'm not gonna have chain. I'm gonna make it more sexy. But I'm gonna look like them because I wanna go on tour with them, and I wanna just expand the music a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I honestly, it's so big and I really love it, but it still sounds the same to me. So I wanted just to switch up.
Okay.
And I wanted to be a female in it too, because it's such a male dominant industry. It's like, okay, there's another guy, there's another male, there's another male, there's another male. Oh my God. How many more males do we need? And like, it really is what it is. It's like, it's too much. Saca la Banda came to me. I was doing this Latin Grammy thing in Vegas. It was a live thing for Latin Music Week. And I got asked to DJ there. And it was in COVID. It was in November. So this is when you weren't allowed to have the volume up, 5 dBs and everything. All the bars were closed. The lounges weren't even open. No alcohol was not allowed. And we still threw this event. And I said, you know what? After party at my place, let's go. You guys can perform. Let's perform at my place. So I invited everybody that was there. So I had all the banda boys and the corrido boys. They're outside on my balcony singing their hearts out. It was just, it made my day. Dope. And then I had DJ Extreme on the 1s and 2s and DJ Javi. And then everybody, like, we just partied till 5 a.m. that day. And so I made that connection that day. And that's where I met Tony Rocks too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
so
this banda said, let's roll.
Who are you? They're like, who are you? Everybody's talking about you. Who are you? And I'm like, hi, I'm Scylla. Nice to meet you. And I had a neck brace on. I had my neck brace on. I shouldn't have been there. But this was all I had to look forward to. So I was like, I'm all in. Like I said, I have nothing but my heart to give at this point. So that's what I did. I gave them a night to remember, and they got to know me, and they're like, you know, I think I want you to, what do you think about being in Saca La Banda? For sure. And I said, fuck yes. I said, have you heard my music? Let's listen to it right now. And then he was like, oh my God. And he said a couple things. He's like, you're like a new Selena. And that's like one of the first things that people will say, even without hearing my music. They'll say that. But I don't feel like I give off that vibe at all whatsoever.
Right.
But I'm honored that they say that.
Right.
And when you see me, I'm a whole bunch of new things. Like I'm really new. And like I said, I always tell everybody, they're like, you're like seasoned. I said, well, I've been DJing on the Strip for 10 years. So I am in front of people all the time. When I was in my girl group, we were on the stage, so I'm the MC, and I'm like dancing nonstop. And
you know, let me say something, and I'm glad you brought up that you're a DJ, and I'm glad that you were a DJ, or you are a DJ, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I remember I had a conversation many years ago with Dr. Dre, and we're talking about 1987, and he saw me DJing, and he loved the way I cut and scratch and the way I blended songs together. And he told me, he said, if you ever decided to produce, and I wasn't producing yet, he said, you're going to be a great producer because you know what people want to hear.
For sure.
And it's the same thing with you DJing, you know what gets asses on the dance floor.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and women do too. I mean, women know that if the female DJs know if the girls are dancing, the guys are happy.
Yes.
Guys are happy.
Yes.
Bring another bottle. Bring another bottle. Bring another bottle.
Right.
Like, I'm not trying to feed more. That it's just, I think it's mathematics.
Right.
Period.
Right.
And then when I would DJ at like the Cromwell or downstairs, it doesn't matter where I was doing a hip hop venue. Some of the big acts would come through this lounge first, and they would be like, "Who's playing?" And they'd be like, "Are you a producer?" And I was like, I mean, I don't call myself one, but I know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
They're like, but you sound like you play like you're a producer. I was like, thank you. And then this guy, you know, produces for Chris Brown and a whole bunch of other people and Trey Songz. So that meant a lot to me.
Yeah, that's dope.
So thank you for saying that. Yeah, that's really cool.
Well, because you transfer that into your music,
Yeah.
you know. So now, 2021, what can people expect from you? Because I know you have a show Friday. You want to promote that?
Yes. You can see me in Anaheim at Mexico de Noche nightclub, 9 p.m., Saca La Banda. It's going to be fun. Honestly, these shows have changed my life. The talent that Lou, shout out to Louie, I love you, PL Productions, the talent that he picks, some of them are so raw and so new and up and coming. They're so dope. I mean, I feel like you're whisked away into Narcos, deep in Mexico, and now it's like an invite-only type of thing with only the coolest Mexicans there and like the coolest music, and then I show up and I'm only female, and I'm like hella extra too, and it's just a vibe. Like, it's fun, and nobody ever expects it. They're like, "It's dope." I said, I know. Do I sign on anything that's not dope? Like, have you ever literally food, anything? Have I ever steered you wrong? No. I said, that's fucking right. So Saca La Banda, Friday, Mexico de Noche nightclub in Anaheim. Follow me on Instagram. That way I'll show you everywhere you get your
Instagram's been popping up, so they'll be able to follow you.
There we go.
And I know once the video's posted on the description, they'll be able to follow you as well. Cool. Can the fans expect single, album, anything like that anytime soon in 2021?
In 2021, yes, not later. I'm still taking my time releasing my album, and because I haven't been working, I don't want to stress myself out. I know that so many people in Latin music, they just pop out a song every 2 weeks, and I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I think it's just discredit to the song.
I have to agree with you too.
The producer, everybody involved, I just completely disagree with popping out music like that.
Look, I'm going to say this. I know these guys personally. Every 3 damn weeks, I got an EP dropping. I had to tell this one guy, fuck, bro, let me miss you. Like, seriously, every time I see you, I got another EP. I got another EP.
No, I'm just trying. I think I don't agree with it, but I think that I want my music to breathe. I want to really say, like, I'm here to stay.
Right.
My music is here to stay. I want it to stay. I'm going to force it down your throat. Listen to me, bitch. You know?
Right. I like that.
But it's new, and I knew that people were going to be, especially radio friends. I have a lot of friends in radio in Vegas. Nobody, except for the DJs in their mix shows, will play my song because it's so new. They're like, well, is it regional Mexican or is it Latin pop? What does it sound like? It's new. It's good. Does it make you move? Yes, everybody loves it. But they're not ballsy enough to just think for themselves and play it. So, you know, I don't care. I overlook it. That's fine. Every places that matter, like LA,
right?
They represent.
Right.
Love you, LA.
You know, and let me encourage DJs. Maybe you may never heard of me. Maybe you don't care or whatever. But I've been DJing for many, many years. Okay, I've DJed all over the U.S. Now, the DJs, producers, rappers, singers, the ones that really, really make noise, or the ones that really make it, are the ones that are ballsy and take that chance. There's a lot of people that just kind of want to stick to the regular, if you will, format.
Yes.
And they don't want to rock the boat because they don't want to lose a fucking job or maybe lose the audience. But it's the people that really fucking take a chance that this shit's going to fucking work.
Yeah.
Those are the people that are going to make a difference. You know, it's almost like there's a saying that says, you know, nobody's ever made a difference being like everybody else.
Amen. And that's why I wanted to bring something new, because everybody's trying to be Bad Bunny. Everybody's trying to be so many new things. But I think the women are really stepping up now in Latin music, and people are noticing, and
That's
they're
dope.
so amazing. There's so many amazing new women in Latin music. And I'm still different, but I'm still in that same, like,
Right.
you know, on that same level of greatness and badassness.
Yeah.
But I bring something new to the table, and that's really what I wanted to do with my sound, was just mainly, though, represent for Mexican Americans, too, because, I don't know, and the Spanish field, too.
Okay.
You know, it's really kind of like watching the Selena Netflix. I'm like, wow, we do have a lot in common. Cool. Okay, but my mom was like, why can't you be more wholesome like Selena? And I was like, Mom, no disrespect. Selena lived in a van with her parents.
Right.
Period. Like, I'm too grown, Mom. I was engaged at one point. I'm too old to be wholesome. You know,
Right.
I'm too old to be wholesome. Like, leave me alone.
All good. At this point, we've come to the conclusion of our interview. But let me ask you.
Already?
Is there anything, yes, is there anything that I didn't ask you that you wanted to talk about, you wanted to share, you wanted to promote? Right now is the time. If not, then give your shout outs.
Watch my video La Rompedora, because it needs a lot more views. And listen to my song, listen to my music, listen to Cumbiambera, listen to Sabor. Everything is perreo. Perreo is wild and it's fun. And come to my show, Saca la Banda, this Friday at Mexico de Noche nightclub in Anaheim. Follow me on Instagram at Yo Quiero Silla. Follow Saint Silla. And download her song DiCaprio, because that song is dope as well. Wow, there's so much.
Keep going.
Thank you so much for having me. I mean, this is really an honor. I was looking forward to this a lot. I was like, no, I'll be there. Whatever day you want me, I will be there.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh,
I mean,
thank you for coming.
I've been a fan. Yeah, it's an honor. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for coming. Any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out to my mom, my sister Pam, I love you. Shout out to Carlos, version 5, I love you too. Tony Rocks, Louis, PL Productions. I mean, so many people that believe in me. Everybody in Las Vegas, Sofia Maria, Mr. Las Vegas, Deli Vibes, Yoel. Thank you guys so much. I love you.
Awesome. So with that being said, I want to say thank you for giving me the honor and the privilege to interview you. And then when you continue to blow the fuck up, just promise me you come back, give us another interview.
Absolutely. I will invite you backstage to my shows always.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
VIP, which means if you're free on Friday night, I'm inviting you to come hang out with me and my crew, you know, with my crew.
At the Saca.
At Saca Lavanda.
Saca
And
Lavanda.
if anyone wants to dance with me at Saca Lavanda, please ask me to dance because nobody ever asked me to dance. I know
Really?
I'm hella extra, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to dance.
Okay. There you go, guys.
Ask me to dance.
Okay, don't hold up the wall drinking Coronas. She wants to dance. So with that being said, thank you once again. Tony Rocks, what's up? What's good? And Yo Quiero Silla is in the motherfucking building. We'll be back in 10 minutes with Lovely. See you guys soon. Yo, call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch. Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio episode 160. And I'm not going to go ahead and I'm not going to make any announcements. We're just going to go ahead and jump right into it with Lovely. How you doing?
Good. How about you?
Good. You know what? I usually make some announcements, but you know what? I know we have a lot to talk about.
For sure.
So, but first and foremost, I want to share something with you that maybe you didn't know. You were here episode 117. That was 43 interviews ago.
Yes.
You know, for some reason, somebody today on Facebook had a problem with you being here. And he said, why are you interviewing her? It's because I want to. That's it.
Yeah.
So you don't like it? Don't watch.
For sure.
So, but last time you were here, we had some controversy, phone calls or whatever, but we're going to start this on a good note and end on a good note. So with that being said, I know that you've been working on music. You dropped possibly 3 songs since the last time you were here. Mm-hmm. And if you don't mind, let's go over some of those songs. You know, do you remember the first one that you dropped?
So I dropped Live It Up.
Uh-huh.
And I dropped a music video to that too.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the first single that I dropped. And then I have a song that I did with my homie Gazilla.
Uh-huh.
So I actually dropped the song, and I'm going to be dropping the video to that on June 1st.
Dope. So you've been busy, still in the studio?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm still in the studio. I have about 21 unreleased tracks right now.
Wow.
So I have 2 albums total.
Oh, wow. So, okay. Now, one thing that I want to talk about, because the last interview that I had a guy named Moses Cuevas, and we talked a lot about working out, and I see that you do a lot of that.
Yeah.
You know, and just for people that may not know, what inspired that or what motivated you to start doing that? Because you actually post a lot of videos about that, and I think that's very dope. I think that's very encouraging, and I like seeing it. Especially you do a little bit of boxing, if I'm correct?
Yes.
Yeah. What started that up?
It started when the pandemic happened. Everybody was like kind of scared, so I started kind of working out at home a little bit, because before it happened, I was hitting the gym religiously.
Yeah.
So it kind of like killed my vibe. So then I found myself a personal trainer.
Dope.
A friend led me to a personal trainer, and then ever since then, I've been training one-on-one, and then I started boxing too there.
That's dope. You know what? When we were, me and this guy Moses, let me give a shout out to Moses Cuevas. This guy does a lot of workout videos on YouTube. He's got a lot of views, and he's a great motivational speaker. And I really enjoyed having him here. I would say that for me, going to the gym is like my therapy. You know, I really enjoy it. I just can't wait for them to open up the steam room and the sauna again, because I used to love to go in there. You know, but now COVID, I will say that messed up a lot of things, because when the gym shut down, I'm not one of those type of guys that gets like depressed or anything like that, but I would say that I was bored as hell at home, not being able to do shit.
Yeah.
But when you said that you find yourself a trainer, I think that sometimes when a person works out, it's a really good thing to find someone, because when I found my trainer, I'll be honest with you, I told him, hey man, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing. And he said, I can see you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
But he is the one that really got me going, trained me for about a year. And then from there, me and my son just took over, and we got our own workouts.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever hit you up like, hey man, let's work out together, or let's start up our own little routine, and let's go here, let's do this?
A lot of people hit me up. A lot of people say, oh, like, you're motivational. Can I come work out with you?
Uh-huh.
I always offer people, like, if I know them, I'm cool with them, I'll be like, yeah, I'll come for a day and work out, you know, for free. And if you like it, you can stay. So a lot of people hit me up, but it's just that nobody really is consistent. Like, nobody says, okay, I'll meet you there. So I just do my own thing.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing, because for a while I was working out with a couple of guys, and there was no consistency there. I'm there 5 times a week, you know, and the days that I don't go, I feel pretty much like I wasted an entire day, because I love it. It's almost like my therapy.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel you.
But I brought all that up because it's almost like working out on a daily basis. To me, it's almost like music. You have to remain consistent, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, and you have to stay busy. Now let me ask you this: working on this, on those 3 singles that you talked about that you dropped, who were some of the producers that you were working with?
So let me see. For Live It Up, I actually don't know the producer for that.
Okay.
Because that was a beat that came from another third party.
Okay, another source.
Yeah. So I never asked questions about that. But the beats that I have worked on, that I do have on my album, is some by NYO. He's from New York. And then my boy Drew over here.
Okay.
Drew got some badass beats. That's pretty much all I've been getting beats from. A couple of people send me beats here and there. Other than that.
Okay. So now are you...
PD Beats. My bad.
Okay.
PD Beats too. Shout out to PD Beats. I got some dope ass beats from him too.
Okay. So are you open to work with different artists? Like if they, what I mean by other producers, if they say, you know what, I got some beats, would you mind listening to them? You know.
Absolutely. People send me beats all the time. I always give them my email and tell them to send them through.
That's good, because I do know a lot of artists, whether they're female or whether they're male, they pretty much just say, well, I already got my producer. You know, the reason why I say that, because there may be some producers out there that may want to send you some stuff. And I know your Instagram will be popping up so they can follow you, DM you,
yes,
and submit, you know,
yes,
that stuff.
I take all beats.
Okay. Are you also open to do features with other artists as well?
I am open for features.
Okay.
I'm limited, but I'm open.
Okay. I mean, because I know exactly what you mean. Here's one thing that I get a lot, and I'm very, very leery of this. Hey man, come through my video shoot. I've done that and never heard the song. And when I got in there, I'm like, fuck, like they made this song on a Fisher Price fucking keyboard, you know, and it's terrible. And I'm, come on, get on in. And I'm there pretending to bob my head, but that's why I just tell people, and no offense if you guys are listening, but send me the track, because I just can't co-sign anything. You know, and I've done that in the past, and I've had to call people up and say, hey man, can you edit me out, because I didn't like that song. So, but I know that you just recently, if I'm correct, were in Miami.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the other single that it wasn't my single, it's Wicked single, but me and Alize, my artist, we featured on it. So we were in Miami. We did the music video out there.
Okay, where is she? I thought maybe you would have brought her.
Oh, she's not here. I don't know. She's doing her own little thing right now.
Okay. So are you still, if you will, looking over her music or anything like that? Because I know, if I'm correct, she was your artist when you came here.
Who, Alize?
Yes.
Oh, you're talking about Alize. I thought you were talking about Wicked, because we were talking about the Wicked single. So you meant Alize.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. She couldn't come. She had a prior engagement.
Oh, okay.
She would have loved to come.
Okay.
But eventually, I'd like, you know, you to be able to interview her.
Yeah, because I remember last time she sang a little bit, you know, and then she did. Now, was this her debut on this last song?
That for the music video?
Yes.
Take a Man? Yeah, so that was the first music video she's ever done. But her album's actually complete already. So we're just in the mixing stages and mastering and getting her graphics done, push her album out.
That's dope. Now, are you going to be performing anytime, any soon, as far as, because I know things are starting to open up. What are they saying? Are they saying June 1st or July 1st that everything's supposed to be open back up?
You know what? I couldn't tell you, because I stopped listening. It always changes.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm just like, whenever it happens, it happens.
I know one of my friends that lives in Vegas told me that I think it was June 1st. I think it was July 1st for us here. So,
possibly.
So, but now let me ask you this, since we're talking about music, and let's talk about new artists. Say, first of all, do you listen to radio at all?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Like the actual like stations?
Yes, like Power 106, K-Day.
Not really. I listen to 95.7 sometimes, but I mostly listen to all my music on my iTunes from my phone.
Okay. The reason why I asked that is because the majority of the time that I asked artists to listen to radio, 95% of the time is no.
Yeah, there's other sources. I don't like commercials, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, and I think sometimes YouTube gets really annoying too, because they give you these 15-minute commercials before you watch whatever. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I was asking if you listen to radio, because I wanted to see if there's any new artists popping that you like or that you bump or that you listen to.
Not really. The same people. I'm listening to the same people. Like somebody who I listen to a lot is not even alive anymore. Pop Smoke. So like that's somebody I listen to right now. I love the beat. Those are the kind of beats that I'm like transitioning into. I like his music. It's a shame that he died so young.
Right.
Or else I would have loved to work with him.
Okay. Oh, what about like, because a lot of people are doing songs with this guy from, I think, Sacramento. Guys like Mozzie. Do you listen to guys like him?
Yeah, I bump Mozzie. I like his newest album. I think it's Occupational Hazard. That's the one that I listen to.
Okay. Yeah. I just heard a song that he did with, and I brought it up on the last show, YG. I don't know if you heard
I know what song you're talking about. I heard it earlier, but I can't remember the name right now.
Right. And the reason why I bring that up is because I want to make a point of it. And I know some people don't like it and some people are for the culture, the movement. For an example, here you have YG, a blood from Compton. Mm-hmm. Then you have Mozzie, a blood from Sacramento, if I'm correct. Okay. They just did a song together. Mm-hmm. No issues. The problem that a lot of people have is if a Chicano from out here does a song with a Norteño out there, the street politics get involved, that's not happening. My point in sharing that is, can you just imagine if all Raza just got together without the politics?
I see where you're going with that.
Right.
But at the same time, you have to remember that in the black rap industry, like, they're the ones that are controlling the music.
Yes.
So they're going to do whatever. It's all commercialized. It's all
right.
Propaganda bullshit. So for us, we're kind of, I don't want to say we're below them, but it's harder for us to get up there.
It really is.
And a lot of it does have to do with people not being united. But at the same time, like, Chicano rap is looked at as like gang members.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like when it comes down to colors and all that stuff, that's just what it is.
It's just what it is.
Yeah.
You're right. I know it's wishful thinking, because I had one guy who was a former Norteño who's now a pastor for 11 years, David Rocha, a.k.a. Sir Dino. The first time he came out here, I didn't have an issue. The second time he came out here, people had an issue. I don't know why they had a problem with him coming out the second time. But, he's still a pastor, and we talk possibly like once a week. Mm-hmm. And I consider him a friend. And me and him were having that conversation, and he said the same thing. He said, we're far away from that. There's a guy out there who's got a huge podcast. I won't mention his name. I invited him out here. Mm-hmm. He just said, because I'm still active out here, I can't go out there. And then I said, well, I'll go out there. And he says, I can't have you here.
Yeah.
So I understood.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's almost like, for a moment, can we just put that aside? But once again, that's wishful thinking.
Yeah.
I guess because I'm all about unity.
Sure.
And I know within Chicano rap, and I'm sure you witnessed it, and maybe you may want to touch on it. I think the reason why we've never possibly ever moved up is because there's a lot of hate between us.
Well, I can actually touch on that firsthand because the situation with Chicano rap in the industry is that, like, people that deserve to get credit get zero credit. A lot of things are changing right now. There's like a big movement going on, and I'm all for the movement. I'm all for the unity, but you still have to give credit where credit is due. You still have to pay homage. I had to pay homage to Dolly Girl, Miss Crazy, people like that. So I too have been in the game over 10 years. I've paved the way for these young girls too. But at the same time, I don't always get the respect I deserve. But it's cool. I don't trip because I know what I've done for people in this industry. I know how many rappers that I took to San Diego and got them shows, put money in their pocket. I know how many rappers I got, meet and greets for that I didn't ask for nothing because I was doing it for the culture.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, Tony, more than half these rappers out here don't support me. That's just facts, and I don't care.
Right.
Because I'm going to still do what I do. A lot of it has to do with me being a female, and a lot of it has to do with intimidation. I get a lot of hate from a lot of guy rappers. But the guy rappers that I do work with, they're confident. That's why I fuck with them, because they're confident and they know, like, all right, they're not scared to give me my props.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Right. It's weird. It's weird that you say that because the majority of the females that I've interviewed here, when I've asked them about the hate subject, they always say I get more hate from dudes than I get from girls.
Facts.
And me, being away from the game for many 2017, so I started getting reacquainted with the whole rap industry again.
Yeah.
And I started hearing all this. it's mind-boggling. Like I can't watch a female, video and say, fuck that bitch, that bitch, just to say it. I can't do that, So I don't understand that. Maybe they may see you as competition. Maybe they might be threatened by you.
Exactly.
So they try to, let me hold you down a little bit. I'm above you. I've never understood that. And then when I got to meet guys that had record labels, I've noticed that the way they talk to their artists, they were never going to allow them, even though those artists were possibly more talented than them, they were never going to allow them to rise above them.
This is true.
And my whole thing is this, that whoever comes here, I'm going to shine light on them. I want people to support them. I want people to follow them. I want people to buy their merch or whatever. That's what I'm here to do, and I want to be an example that, I don't see nobody as a threat. All I want to do is just help. But for a minute, you know what? I received a lot of hate because I was doing that.
Yeah.
People used to call me up and used to tell me, that bitch or that dude doesn't deserve the light you're giving them. My whole thing was like, who are you to tell me who deserves and who doesn't deserve it?
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of stuff started with. My thing is like, why can't there just be somebody with good intentions that just wants to show love?
Exactly.
So, but I hope things change. And like you said, there's a movement and hopefully we're headed in the right direction. That's why I encourage people to start up their own platforms.
Yeah.
Because we don't have if you will, a Latino fucking MTV, at least not that I know of here, that's shining light on Chicano rappers or Chicanas. We don't have a Latino BET. No. We don't have a Latino Vlad. So my thing is, why don't we just start our own thing?
For sure.
So I don't know. I can keep going on and on and on, but
there's very limited platforms for that. There's a couple of YouTube channels that have like a couple 100,000 subscribers. That's where you see most, Latin Beast. I just say it, Latin Beast TV.
Right.
That's where that's the top platform for all the Chicano rappers. And if you see now on Latin Beast, it's not just a Latin thing anymore, because now they're putting all cultures on there. So now it's expanded.
Right.
So that's like one of the top platforms. I think maybe Cam Capone has another, and then your platform, absolutely. So that's like the only things that we have. Right.
My thing is this, because I usually tell people I took a break from this from like 2002 to 2017. The beginning of 2006 when I came back. 2006 is when I started DJing for Quick again for like a whole year. Mm-hmm. So I was back for maybe a year. I didn't like what I saw again, and I just kind of just went back under the radar. Yeah. I didn't listen to music at all. I come back, I see it, we start this. People get upset at me because I'm showing love to artists, up-and-coming artists that I feel, you know what? Somebody needs to shine light on them. Yeah. If we don't, who will? Who will? So with that being said, I've always told people, look, I've been gone for 12 to 15 years. Why didn't you start it? Why didn't you do it?
True.
But yet you want to give me crap because I'm helping. But they don't deserve it. So that's how a lot of that bullshit started.
I feel for someone that's not doing anything shouldn't tell anyone what other people deserve. Because really, you never live that person's life. Only God really knows what people deserve. We shouldn't ever assume what people deserve.
Right.
Because I know what I deserve, and I know I'm not getting it. So, and someone out there is going to be like, well, she doesn't deserve that. Okay.
Right.
Let you tell it.
Yeah. Now, do you ever get, because I know they have ciphers, and dudes go out there and they battle and shit. Mm-hmm. Do women have those as well too? Keep in mind, I'm asking because I've only been back since 2017. So kind of like educate me. Is that going on?
I did actually. I got a cipher together in San Diego with a group of girls. Okay. This was like a couple years back, but lately, and where I'm at, I'm not seeing any female stuff. But I'm actually not seeing any ciphers with females anywhere.
Okay.
Something that should absolutely be getting done.
Yes, I truly believe that. Now, maybe you're not going to be able to answer this, but I'm gonna ask. Why do you think it's not getting done when I believe that light should be shined on women.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see a lot more upcoming females. Like, I'm seeing a lot of the same females. I don't know. Right now is the time for females.
Yes,
absolutely. But I'm not seeing a lot of movement from a lot of different people. So I don't know if it's the pandemic. But I know I'm moving. So
yeah,
you know. But I can only do so much because I'm one person.
Yes.
But I would be down to get a cipher together for females. But it's like, would they be down? Because right now there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm up here. Like, I'm not going to come to your little cipher. That's where the issue is, that people just don't want to come together because someone either thinks they're too good to come or someone just is not really doing music right now.
Yeah, you know, I've never understood that, you know, especially amongst Chicano rap artists, whether it's female or male, those that think they're a little bit above. When I started, and I'm going to say it this way for the sake of the conversation, on the black side of the industry. And every time they had an event, they all showed up. Over here, we got so-and-so doesn't want to come because, you know, things, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, you're not a Game, you're not a DJ Quick.
Yeah.
You know, you're not a Snoop. You know, you're Instagram famous. Yeah, but you don't want to come. Like, I never understood that, you know. So, I just hope that things change, because I think that it makes us look bad that because we can't even get along, you know. And we are, and I've said it before, especially here in California, hip hop's economy.
Yeah.
You know, we support everyone. We buy everything. We buy the merch. We buy the tickets. We sell out the concerts. But yet, none of us have ever made it to that stature of a Snoop, of a Quick, of, you know, of those people. You know, none of us. And I think because we hold each other down. And we've had this conversation plenty of times. And I'm going to continue to have it until I feel that we wake up, because I hope that we make a difference.
Yeah, it's true, but I mean, it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? How long does it got to take? Do I got to be 90 fucking years old for it to happen? Like, that's why, to be honest with you, I'm not really messing with too many people in the scene. I'm doing my own thing right now.
That's good.
And I like it because I don't have to answer to nobody.
That's good.
I'm a boss.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do my own thing. So I get a lot of hate, but I get more love. And so that's what outweighs the hate.
The negative, yeah.
Yeah, before I would let things bother me. Now I'm like, you know what? I'm on another level. Not saying I'm better than people, but I'm saying that I'm on a different level in my life, musically, just personally, just a lot of things. I've grown a lot. So a lot of things don't bother me no more.
Yeah. On the music that you're working on right now, on these 2 albums, do you have a lot of features on them, or is it pretty much predominantly you?
I don't have a lot of features. I have a couple people, like I have Alizé. I have an entire album with her. I got my boy Young Blacks on there. I have him on multiple songs. If you're not fucking with him, fuck with him, because he's dope. I'm looking for talent that's willing and ready to work and ready to just, like, ambitious and just ready to just do whatever it takes. Like, a lot of people have lost that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So no, there's not too many people. There's man, who else is on there? That's basically, I got my homegirl Thug Angels on there. I got Wicked. That's basically it. Okay. I probably have about 5 people that I really fuck with. So it's pretty
much more like in-house. I guess these are your people.
I'm not really outsourcing. There's no need to. Okay. I'm showcasing my talent. I don't really care about those other people. Okay.
And the reason why I bring that up is because I just recently came out of retirement to start producing again. And I'm producing for Mr. D, little guy, Chicano kid from Hollywood. And honestly, I love being around that guy. That guy has such a great sense of humor, personality, that when I met him, it was like if I knew him before, you know. And we chilled, great chemistry. And we started talking, and his investor said, "Hey, how much would you charge for an album?" And I'll be honest, I was trying to talk him out of it. I was like, "Nah, I don't want to do a record. I don't want to do a record." Finally, when he said, "Well, we want you to produce a record," because they heard me play some beats on a previous episode with my boy DJ Ralph M, and I was playing beats off the SB1200 drum machine. He goes, "We like that old style," and I was like, "Okay, I'll tell you what." And I'm gonna be honest with you, Lovely. I've never done this before. I said, "Let me produce 2 tracks for him for free." That's what I said. Just pay for the studio time. Let me produce for free. And if you like them, then we could talk about an album. And we're already like 5 songs in.
All the way up.
Yeah, yeah.
All the way turn up.
But what I like about him, and I think this is what you're talking about, he's hungry. He has the desire. He wants to win. Like, he really, really wants this. Yeah. And it took somebody like him to bring me back, because even though I've interviewed a lot of people, a lot of the youngsters, I just didn't see that in them, like the desire. They wanted to get high. They wanted to get drunk. They were still active on the streets. And I almost saw them, and no disrespect to them, but as a liability. I don't want to invest in you, and then you end up in jail next week.
That's true, though. It's facts.
Yeah.
I invest in my artists all the time, but that's because I know that it's going to benefit her and I, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to just invest in somebody that I know is going to be going away forever, and then I spend all this money, you know?
Right, right.
Not that it's nothing against it. I'm just saying, like, gotta spend your money wisely, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotta invest in the right things.
You have to use wisdom.
Don't make dollars. Don't make sense.
Exactly. So now that things, once again, are starting to open up, are you going to be doing shows? You know, are you going to be performing?
I mean, that's my plan. Actually, I have a show coming up on the 20. What's my homegirl, Thug Angel? She's performing on the 27th, I believe. It's actually this in Chula Vista.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in Chula Vista. There's a flyer. So I'm going to be coming out performing. We have a song together. So I'm going to come out and support and perform the song with her. I'm not really booking shows right now.
Okay.
For the simple fact that I have a lot on my plate. I'm wrapping up my 2 albums. I'm wrapping up my artists' albums. We're wrapping up videos. And so after that, because I want to go to shows with merch. I want to go with my CDs.
You want to be ready.
Yeah, like, I don't want to go with nothing. Like, that's where you go and you get your money, you know?
Right.
The supporters come out and buy your shit.
That's true. That's true. Now let me ask you this, because a lot of people, like, I sell CDs and I also sell downloads on my website. Mm-hmm. Do people still buy CDs?
To be honest, a lot of people say, oh, why do you make CDs? People don't buy them, but that's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
I go to all the car shows. I'm a street hustler. I've sold so many thousands of copies of CDs at every car show. One time I went to a Vegas car show, didn't even go inside. I sold 90 CDs outside, $10 a pop. You do the math.
Yeah.
That's what you call street grinding.
Right. Right.
So I'm not afraid to go out and talk to the people. I talk to people of all races, old people, white people, black people. I don't care.
Yeah.
The worst I'm going to get is a no, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or I'm going to get $10.
Yeah, you never know until you try, you know. And I always tell people that, because people say, oh, why do you sell CDs? I don't have a CD in my car. Bro, let me tell you something. One thing I know about Raza, they buy CDs, bro.
Yeah.
We buy everything. You got a shirt, we'll buy you. You got a poster, we buy it.
Want the autograph?
Yeah, with the autograph.
They got the big CD books with all the covers with the autographs, and I have my shit like that.
I still have mine like that, you know. Or they want to take a selfie with you. So I have a lot of that stuff lined up with this artist, Mr. D, and I got some interviews lined up. And so we're filming our first video together. This is going to be his introduction, because this kid got popular just by doing videos on his cell phone and releasing them on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he built up such a great buzz that we started working together, and he just fucking sounds amazing. And I don't just gas him up just to say that, but when he drops, let me tell you something. He's gonna, I believe, motivate people and encourage people to step up their rap game, because I believe he's that good. Next Saturday we film our first video, and then we'll hopefully premiere it mid-June here. And then I got some nice interviews lined up for him. So we're trying to take this, because I've always had resources, but I never had anybody to use them with.
Yeah.
So, and this guy's really, really talented, and I don't mind bragging about him.
No, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Wish him the best, and you guys the best. And
I had to dust off my cleats and start producing again, you know, and I love it.
Somebody had to bring you out of retirement, right?
Exactly. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and press pause right there. We're going to come back, and hopefully, I think we're going to address some things and talk more about music. And you're here, and hell yeah. Okay, everybody. Once again, call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody, let them know that Lovely is in the motherfucking building, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Yo, Yo, call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this yacht. Yo, call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this yacht.
Yo, Chuck, put a power move on 'em.
If you mess with me,
Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio episode 160. And we're back here with Miss Lovely. That kind of rhymes a little bit, so I may start rapping. So, okay, you know what? I want to talk about Take Your Man. You guys went to Miami, Florida.
Yes.
How long were you guys out there for?
I think it was 4 days total.
How'd you guys like it out there?
It was badass. I'm not too with the humid because I got that Puerto Rican hair, so it wasn't really going with me.
Right.
But it's a beautiful place. I'm just not down with the traffic. Like, it takes 40 minutes to pass 3 lights. I'm good off that. Yeah, it took hours to get anywhere we wanted to go, so.
Wow, I thought LA shit was bad.
Nah, it's bad over there, like real bad. Doesn't matter if you're in the city or outside the city, like it's just bad. Traffic is bad. But it's a beautiful place. The beaches are beautiful.
Yeah, I think the last time I was there, I want to say it was like the first time I went there, well, I went to Orlando first, then I went to Miami, 1992, and then Miami in 1996. But that was the last time that I've been there. And back then, it still looked like fucking the way they feel Scarface.
Yeah.
You know? So you guys filmed a video out there called Take Your Man.
Yeah.
And I understand that wasn't your song.
No, it wasn't my song.
Okay. But I know the song title is self-explanatory, Take Your Man. But what inspired or what motivated that song to come about?
Actually, the homegirl, Wicked Baby Doll, that was her song. She's like, look, I got this song. You know, PD Beats made the beat. Like, let me send it to you, see if you like it, jump on it. So I was like, all right, cool. She's like, but, you know, just be advised that it's a little provocative. And I was like, all right, shoot it. She sent it, and I was like, oh, man. I was like, I don't know. Like, I kind of contemplated because I was like, it's a little bit out of my comfort zone because I don't really do songs like that, you know? So she's like, let's do it. And I was like, all right, I'll fuck with it. So she already had the hook. So it was already named before I came along.
Okay.
Yeah, so she already had her hook and her verse. I jumped on it, and then we got Alizé on it. And then it just all came together like that. And she's like, well, let's go to Miami. And while we're there, let's just do a video. And I was like, fuck it, let's do it.
That's dope. So it's funny because I've heard a lot of your stuff, and this was the first time that I've ever heard you rap like that.
Or dressed like that. In
But
any
it's all
videos,
good.
I know it was completely out of my comfort zone, but I'm glad I did it.
Now, you saying you glad you did it, what was the response that you got?
I've got nothing but good responses.
Okay.
I mean, nobody's came at me sideways or nothing. I mean, everybody's told me like, that's dope. Like you're out of your comfort zone.
Right.
So it was fun. It was fun to do. I'm not gonna lie. We had a blast. If you could see a lot of laughter in the end, like that was all genuine. Us laughing, we're clowning, and just having fun.
So did you guys fly your video guy out there as well?
Well, he was already going. The thing was that Wicked had a video already there with Rob's 818.
Okay.
So they were already doing a video over there. So she's like, well, and that's his video guy and the beat maker, PD Beats. He made the beat to the video that we did, Take Your Man's.
Okay.
So he was going to go already. So we just knocked out 2 videos in 4 days.
That's dope. Now, you have a song that I've seen on your Instagram page, Fuck My Enemies.
Yeah.
You know, even though, once again, that title is self-explanatory, but what inspired or motivated for you to do that song?
I'm just getting tired of people's shit. I've actually been very humble and silent for many years, but I'm getting to the point where I feel like people that say they're in my corner, or even people that have family, just anybody can turn into a foe. Anybody could be an enemy. So that's basically me saying a big fuck you to everybody that doubts me, and they're my enemies.
Right. Okay. Now, with your record label, you were with the record label for a while. Are you still with that record label, or are you doing things independently now?
I'm not with the record label at all. I'm doing my own thing, and it's better that way. A lot of differences and just a lot of drama. And I know a lot of things have been said behind my back, and I'm cool with that. I don't need negativity in my circle. And once again, brings me back to me being a boss. I'm not about to let nobody control what I'm doing. I make my music the way I want to, and I make it who I want to make it with, and that's just me. Difference of opinion. Went about my way.
Okay. And was this just recent or?
It's actually a couple months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple months ago. I got my project though. I dropped the video. There's no hard feelings or no animosity. I'm not with the funky business. You know?
Okay.
So I'm cool with that. Like, I don't got nothing to say, but I know that I'm gonna do my thing regardless. So I still have my album. I still put the video out. A lot of things weren't handled. They were left in the air.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I picked up the pieces where they were left and I put it all together. That's what I do. Nobody's gonna stop my grind. So the album was gonna be The First Lady.
Right.
But I'm not doing that no more.
Okay.
I changed the name. So I still got my Hustle and Heart, which is my album prior
Right.
to the label. But I'm still gonna drop the album that I did with the label.
Mm-hmm.
But the name of the album is The First Shall Be Last.
The first shall be last.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll let y'all figure that one out.
And the last shall be first. So, wow. Okay. I guess a lot has happened since the last time I've seen you.
Yeah.
You know.
A lot of boss shit going on.
And that's good. You know what? I'm glad that you are, if you will, taking control of your own future, you know, of your own projects, and you're overseeing everything. And I believe that that's the way it should be, because I think a lot of people, when they're under a record label and maybe they don't have the freedom that they want, you know, things just kind of go sour, and then they just pretty much want out and move on. And sometimes things work out better.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more behind it, but I'm not going to get into the details. I'm going to leave it at that because I'm not going to open doors that I already closed.
Okay.
So, but what I am going to say is that I'm unstoppable. I'm not going to stop. If you want to hate me, hate me. If you want to like me, like me. If you don't, I don't care. I'm still doing me. I'm still going to put the music out for the people. The people want the music. I don't care what the artists want.
Right.
I give 0 fucks. This is the number of fucks that I give about that. I make music for the people. So as long as the people want me to do it, I'm going to keep doing it.
You're going to keep it pushing.
Yeah, because that's what they want. And so I'm going to keep doing it because it helps me. And, you know, the positivity outweighs the negativity, because my DMs are flooded with people that are not only motivated by my music, but they're also motivated by my workouts.
Yeah.
I have hundreds of females that hit me up and tell me their stories. I'm not a therapist, but
Right.
I try my best to help people.
Yeah.
I tell them, you could do it. Like, I had to motivate myself. Nobody pushed me. So that's just, it pushes me to keep going. That's why it also helps me to keep working out, because I have so many people watching me.
Yeah.
You know, I can't stop now, right?
Right. You know, it's funny because somebody sent me something, and they said, because once again, I'm referring to my last interview where we were talking about eating healthy, you know, taking the right protein, etc. Somebody sent me something. I know he's probably watching, because I don't know if he liked my answer or not, but he sent me a post that said, if you eat clean, drink water, get enough sleep, you're still gonna die. That's what he said. I think it was in response to, you know, my last interview. But I responded with, it has been appointed for man to die once, then comes the judgment. Okay, everybody's gonna die.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I ain't trying to speed that shit up. You know,
I feel you.
Yeah, I'm trying to live a long life.
Yeah.
You know, and we all know we're gonna die. We all know. Okay, but I ain't trying to speed up the process. So you got to take care of yourself while you're here, and I think that's what you're doing, encouraging and motivating people to take care of themselves.
Absolutely.
Because we only have one body.
For sure.
You know, and you got to take care of it. You know, so
especially because my family comes from a lot of health issues, background and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of eye openers when the pandemic happened, and that's when I really lit a firecracker under my own ass and was like, you need to get your health on point.
Yes.
And so that's what I did.
No, and that's good. And I think that's good inspiration for people that, not only your fans, but people that may not be your fans, but maybe fans of your workout.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a good thing. So now, 2021, can people expect this album that you just talked about? The Last Shall Be First?
No, the first shall
The
be
first
last.
shall, I said it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it 2021 that's going to be dropping, or is it,
Absolutely. I'm dropping both of the albums this year.
Oh, okay.
What I'm doing right now is just getting Alizé's album out the way. We're dropping it in June. Once her shit's dropped, then I can go ahead and proceed forward with dropping my 2 albums. Mine's is a little bit more tedious because there's a lot more songs. Versus she has 7 songs and I have 21 songs. So,
oh shit.
You know, it's a lot more work. So I'm gonna just let her get her her shine on.
That's dope. That's
She's
dope.
doing great.
Yeah, yeah. And is she really excited about this, her album dropping and everything?
Oh yeah, I have to remind her to be patient sometimes because she's like, I want it now, you know? I'm just like, girl, hold on. But I love it because she's ambitious. She's ready. Like, she's like, I want people to hear my music. Like, she's just going. Like, she's excited about it.
Yeah.
And so it gives me a drive too, because it lets me know I'm pushing her in the right direction.
Yes.
Nobody laced me up like that. I didn't have nobody in my corner when I started in this industry. It was still cutthroat.
Yeah.
So a lot of people tell her, like, hey, you're blessed to have Lovely, you know, helping you, because not a lot of people do that. But I truly believe in her.
Yeah. And that's a good thing that you do, and you're steering her in the right direction because you've been in this game a long time. Sad to say you've had bad experiences.
Yeah.
And now you're pretty much just steering her in the right direction where she doesn't repeat the mistakes that,
exactly.
you know, and that's the way I feel with the artists that I'm working with. You know, there are certain people that I pretty much just say, look, you can go work with them, but this is going to be the end result, because it's been the end result with every other artist that has been under those labels.
Yeah.
You know, and if you really realize and look at really where we're at, and I know I'm touching on a touchy subject here, but let's look at, once again, the Chicano rap labels without naming any names. Say you have 4 Chicano rap labels, and many of us, we know their names. Have we ever seen, at least I haven't, maybe you can help me, any artist go above the label owner, like be bigger than the label owner?
No. Not that I know of.
Yeah, you know, and I've wondered, like, why is that?
I think the biggest, like, farthest someone has gone is probably, like, independently. I would have to give it to, like, Mr. Capone. Like, he made his own label, or Mr. Criminal. Like, they actually are, like, assets, you know? They actually own assets, or King Little G or whatever. Like, I would say those are the ones that are living comfortably,
right?
You know, with their labels. But not everybody gets lucky like that.
Right.
You know, I don't know what the reasons are. You know, I let God do the deciding, but at the end of the day, it's facts though. Like, we're not really where we should be.
No, that's the truth, and it's the sad truth, you know. So I guess through this platform, I would like to say that I somehow contributed, or I'm helping, because I'm not done, make a difference in shining light on unknown artists. And I think that's what we're more dedicated here. One thing that I get all the time, and honestly, sometimes I want to lash out and say something, but I don't, because it's not worth it. Here's what people always say. You always interview.
Well, how can they be somebody's if nobody gives them an opportunity?
You know, now think about this. Wasn't Snoop a nobody at one point?
Yeah, everybody was.
Everybody was. Everybody. So I always tell people, help me make these so-called nobodies a somebody. Why don't you support it? Why don't you tune in? Many people have come back and have apologized and said, bro, I kind of cut this whole podcast off because I didn't recognize any artists. But when I started doing my homework and looking up the shit that they had out, they were actually really dope. I see what you're doing, because there was never any light shined on them.
Yeah.
You know?
It's facts. It really is.
And the good thing is that we have technology now, like YouTube, like Instagram, like Facebook, where we could promote ourselves, you know?
Even TikTok is a great platform.
Yes, yes.
I've been using it a lot more lately too, and I noticed that. Or the reels and stuff like that. Like, those are all things that artists should be using that I'm myself just utilizing and just finding out about. So
There's a lot of people on TikTok. So if you're an artist, because I was one that used to always say, you'll see me on Pornhub before you see me on TikTok.
Ay, Dios mío, Tony.
You know, and I'm just being sarcastic, but it's because I used to always think that TikTok's some goofy shit, you know? But we started a TikTok page. I don't know, we've probably been on maybe 3 weeks, and we got a little bit of like 3,000 followers. But some of our videos that we posted at 15K, 20K, 50K, and I'm like, fuck, there's a lot of motherfuckers on here.
Yeah.
You know, watching. And I think my YouTube page has also grown because we have our link there. But you got to give the public what they want, you know. And like you said, if the fans want it, then I'm going to give it to them. You know, doesn't matter what the other artists say.
Yeah.
You know.
No, it's true. I've learned a lot because I used to really be inserting myself into situations like where you want people to notice you or you want other rappers to give you your credit. But then you get to that point where it's like, what's the point of that? Them giving you credit doesn't put money in your pocket.
None.
It doesn't. The only way you can put money in your pocket is if you go out and really get it and hustle and grind it out.
Right.
Don't let a lot of rappers fool you, though, that their money is all from music, you know?
Right.
You know, I'm just saying, like, a lot of people put shows on is what I mean.
Of course.
You know, I know some people who do that, and it's funny. It's funny as fuck to me.
Yeah, I know a bunch of people that are broke because they were trying to look not broke on social media.
Living above your means.
Yeah, you know, and you know, there was a saying that it went like this: you buy things you don't need with money you don't have to impress people you don't like. Like, think about that, and that's all social media right there. You know, and people, you know, driving around in a rental, what do you call it, a Rolls Royce. I know damn well you don't own a Rolls Royce, homeboy. I know damn well, you know, and that's cool, you know, for the videos and stuff like that. You know, it's all cool, but when guys really, really try to look like they're living extravagant, and I know you're living in a 2-bedroom apartment, ain't nothing wrong with that, but just don't front. Just don't front.
It's what's the saying, like robbing Peter to pay Paul? Like, that's what a lot of people do. Because I also work, not only I do music, but like I've worked a lot of years in the financial industry.
Yeah.
So I see all these people that are doing the exact same thing. So it's the world we live in. It's not just rappers. Like,
right.
Everybody lives off credit and fake shit.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's the world we live in.
You know, I don't ever wear any jewelry. I don't have anything against people that do that. I think my chucks probably cost me $45, $20 for some Dickies, and somebody gave me the shirt. I don't have over $100 with the clothes on, but I'm fine with that. I've always been content. I've always been happy, and I'm blessed. I've never been with the guy that, you know, I have to have the Gucci slippers, the Ferragamo belt, you know, the Versace shirt.
The flip-flops.
Yeah, I've never been that guy. And if you are that guy, that's cool. All I'm saying is don't live beyond your means, you know. Because when I see people that say they got this, they got that, I always say, but I know that's not rap money. You know, it's not rap money. If you're winning, you're winning. That's cool. But don't front like your album went platinum, knowing damn well it went cement. You know, it didn't go nowhere. So
you're too much.
Well, I try to do.
That's funny. No, but I get where you're coming from. I mean, I'm not into like fancy cars. Like, I don't really care about fancy cars, or like, I'm not materialistic actually.
But you like nice things.
I do, but I do like, my thing is jewelry.
Okay.
That's my thing. Like, I literally will go crazy. Like, don't take me into a jewelry store, because I'll be like, I'm not going in there. Like, it's on. Once I get in there, that's it.
For me, you know what it is? Colognes.
That's how my dad is.
Yeah.
And a whole thing of every cologne you could think of. I'm like, man, Dad, like, you don't even got room for nothing else.
Yeah, colognes, and I would say probably next would probably be like tennis shoes. You know, but the sad thing is when you got about 10 black chucks, 10 blue chucks, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like
switch it up.
Yeah, I know. I got to.
Gotta get in the Cortezes.
Yes, I got the black Cortez, the blue Cortezes. I got the black Pumas, the blue Pumas, but after a while, I'm like, okay. Here's what messes me up. I'll get a little scuff on my chucks, and then I'm like, I gotta get a new one. It sucks, but I'm addicted to that. Like I'm.
Just clean it, Tony.
I
It's
know.
not that big of a deal, man.
It's hard to clean chucks when you scrape the top because that rubber shit. It's really, really hard to clean.
I'm gonna be really honest with you. I don't own one pair of Chucks. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay.
I'm not really. No, I have nothing against Chucks.
Right.
I know everybody fucks with them, but to be honest, like I fuck with Cortezes or like other Nike shoes, like girly shoes.
Right.
Yeah, like pink. You know, just like girly shit. But yeah, I never really.
Now, back to your album that you're gonna be releasing. Any diss tracks on there?
You're funny. Hey, anything I say on any track automatically gets looked at as a diss track. I've had a lot of people assume that shit's for them.
Yeah.
So I tell people, like, it's not for you. I've had people approach me and be like, is that about me? It's not for you, but if the shoe fits, you could go ahead and lace that shit up.
Yeah.
You know? My music is just, I'm always going to talk shit.
Right.
That's me.
You know, I don't understand how. Maybe you could help me. If I hear a song and I hear you say something like, you have a podcast, blah, blah, blah. Was that about me? I'm not a person that would assume automatically. So I wonder what makes a person automatically assume that a song is about them.
It's because it's what they have inside, what they feel towards that person. To be honest, it's kind of like in their own head. It's kind of like when someone's beefing with themselves. So they look at everybody like, oh, everybody's against me, everybody's beefing with me. But in reality, no one's checking for you. That's the issue. No one's checking. You're a legend in your own mind. There's a lot of legend in their own minds in the industry. That's what it is. And if anybody says that that's not true, they're a liar.
Right.
Because that's just how it is. So I don't particularly diss people, but if I'm writing something and something comes to mind, I'll talk my shit. If it fits, then it's for you. Straight. I mean, if you think it's for you and it fits the scenario, then guess what? 9 times out of 10, it's for you.
Right.
So what? Suck it up.
Yeah. You know, years ago that it was funny. One of my homeboys, I won't mention his name, real popular rapper. He said something like, "You're a curly hair bitch, and you got it coming." I don't know how to rap, so I'm paraphrasing his rap. You're a curly haired bitch. You got it motherfucking coming. Can't wait till I see you stick my fucking gat in your fucking mouth. Okay. Then one of my homeboys calls me. This was maybe like 10 years ago. Did you hear that song? And I was like, no, I don't listen to rap right now, bro. I think he dissed me. Like.
Well, you had a Jerry curl, so you thought he got dissed?
Yeah. Like I was just like, but why would you think that's you? Like, maybe a guilty conscience.
Yeah. It is a lot of times a guilty conscience.
Right.
That just shows that you maybe did something wrong to that person.
Right.
Like, I'm not out here intentionally dissing people, but like if I feel something, like I'm not gonna let it build up.
Right.
That's what music is for. Music is to express yourself. So I'm gonna express myself by all means. I don't care.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna be out here, chewing people up.
Yeah.
Screw it.
Yeah. You know, and even like Instagram, you could put up a post and it may not even be like nothing you're going through, but you just may like the quote. You post it up, they hit you up. Hey, homie, I saw that shit. I don't know, did I do something? And I'm like, and not only them, females too. You know, did I do something? Or else they'll repost it. This narcissist said this and this. And I'm like, what the fuck? I just like the quote.
It's because like it's supposed to be where you could express yourself, but people hate on your expressions. That's the issue at hand. I post stuff in my story and I'll have people actually like, even recently, for example, I posted something, someone came and was like, is that about me? I'm like, dude, you're a grown ass man, really? And I said, look, it's not about you, but it can be about you if you want it to be.
Right.
So if you feel that way, then it is what it is. And I left it at that and I unfollowed because I don't got time for that shit.
Yeah, that's true. Shit, we're not getting any younger, and I don't like bitch shit people that complain about whether you pose or who you interview, and that's one thing which you witnessed when I had Baby Boy Slim here.
Yeah,
I got a lot of heat from that, from 2 individuals which I'm not gonna name.
You got a lot of heat. I got a lot of heat for bringing it up on the interview, and that whole man, I got a lot of heat from that. I did, but you know what? I didn't really worry too much about it because I've known Slim for a long time. Like, even in my old videos, he's done my makeup, my hair. So I knew him on a personal level. Like, when I did a show in Salt Lake City, like, he went to support. Like, he recorded me on stage, and like, I had that respect for him. And then he started, you know, showing me, oh, I do music, and I did guide him and help him a little bit.
Right.
Because I wasn't looking at him as a gay rap artist. I was just looking at him as a human being.
Right.
But see, the difference is I'm a female. Guys get like, oh, I can't, you know, like some men, they clam up because they don't want, oh, he's gay and I don't want to look a certain way. For me, I'm a girl, so that don't matter. I could kick it with a gay person. It doesn't make a difference.
Right. Look, how many artists out there in this industry are gay and people know it and people bump their music? Okay, I've known a lot of gay artists. Some of them are out of the closet, and some have been low key. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real on the black side of the industry and on the Chicano side of the industry. But many of them don't want to come out. Cool, whatever. My whole point in sharing that is this, and I'm gonna share something that a lot of people did not know. The person that hated on me, who called that night and said you shouldn't have him on, was the guy who recommended him for this show.
Yikes.
That's why it threw me off. Months prior, at least 2 months prior, he hits me up and he tells me, you should get this guy. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, I'll send you his video. I saw it, considered it. He just happened to call that day. I saw the opportunity. And then
that was crazy.
And then that's when it happened. So for those of you that want to know who that was, just go back and look at episode 117. Listen to the phone calls and you see what happened. So, but I just think that it's only fair that people know that that one individual was the one who recommended him for this show.
That's scary because that just brings me to a lot of situations where I've been in rooms with people, even up and recently, and I'm not going to say no names because I ain't giving no clout, but I've been in situations where I've been in a room and somebody praised the fuck out of me, like, oh, you're dope recording me and this and that. And the minute I left that place, that same person talked shit about me, saying, oh, you know, you're this, you're that, you're old, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, what is my, like, age has nothing to do with talent. So you're telling me that when Mariah Carey should stop singing because she's a certain age. Like, that's dumb. Talent beats anything. So when things are said when you leave the room, that's what impacts me, because I'm like, whoa, you just praised me, like, and it just made me get a lot. It like fueled my anger. I'm not gonna lie, it really did, because I was like, damn, like it really is cutthroat. But the next day I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Now I know I can't fuck with nobody, because the minute I leave that room, somebody's gonna talk shit about me, and that's just the way it is.
I witnessed that. I would say in the early 90s, I was in Arizona, and I won't mention the artists, but they were Chicano Rap Foundation. I'll just say that. And there was maybe three guys there, including me, which was 4. We were all talking. We were in Arizona. We were exchanging numbers. Okay, cool. Yeah, call me. They announced one of the groups to go up on stage and perform.
Yeah.
As soon as those 2 guys walked away, these 2 guys, fuck those fucking lanes, fuck those bitches.
I be like that sometimes.
And it was very hard for me to like swallow that pill and say, fuck. Like, we were just all homies right now. And that's when I started to see the hate arise within our people, you know. I don't understand. Like, I was just talking to your boy right here about producing, okay? I'm a producer too. I don't have any problem interviewing him or talking to him about music because I love music.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see it as, oh, fuck, he's the producer. He's probably whack. You know, I don't think like that. So when I hear other people like that, I don't understand that mentality.
Yeah, I think everybody deserves to get heard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless you're talking like nonsense, then get out of here. But if it's like music, like all that stuff, like I give a lot of people opportunities. Throughout my whole career, I've given so many people opportunities. Even people that have gone farther than me. But the respect is not returned. And like, the more you help people or work with people, the more your value goes down. So I've chosen to be selective, because before I would work with a lot of people.
Right.
Now I'm not giving myself away to all these rappers because that mutual respect is not given.
No, it's a one-way street.
Yeah, and I'm tired of that. I've already been on that street many times, and now I'm not doing that no more.
I'm going to share something, and I hope people listen to what I'm about to say, because I think that people can learn from this and learn from my mistakes, things that I did. There were 3 individuals that I've known that I interviewed here. Mm-hmm. And every time, even when they weren't here, I praised them. Every single time, I just praised them. And people used to always tell me, hey, dude, you're dick riding those guys, okay? And I used to always say, I just want to show love.
Yeah.
I just want to show love. I think they're talented. And here's the crazy part. Those 3 people are the ones that ended up backstabbing me. Those 3. And I look back, and honestly, I think to myself, what did I do wrong? Like, what did I do wrong? Because
you trusted. That's what you did wrong.
Yes.
That's what you can't, you can't do that.
Right.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't mess with a lot of people. Like Wicked, I've known her for about 11 years. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I fuck with her tough. Like, my boy Blacks, I've known him 16 years. So people that I am working with in the industry is people that I've known, I have long-standing relationships with. I'm really not in for letting anybody new into my circle because nowadays there's no respect. There's no mutual understanding. There's no regard to other people's feelings or even their music. Like, I've given free verses to people a lot.
Right.
And those same people that I've given verses to are the same people that try to charge me.
No shit.
And I'm like, how does that work? So that's when I'm like, okay, if you guys want to be that way, I'm going to be that same way. I'm going to do the exact same thing you guys are going to do, and you guys are not going to like it. And now I have those same people coming back to me, hey, let me get a verse. No, remember when you wanted to charge me? I'm good. I'm not doing verses right now. Right. I'll tell them whatever I tell them. I don't care about the money. I'll get my money other ways.
Right. Well, one thing that I thought that I was at one point, and I don't blame everyone, but there was a few that when I addressed the situation here about those 3 individuals that ended up backstabbing me and ended up talking about me, my thing was that when I addressed it, I've had people that are fans of Roadium Radio really attack me and saying, how dare you? I heard you were about unity. I heard you were about bringing the culture. But those same people never ever addressed that to them. But they came to me and told me that. And I thought that was unfair. I never went live and talked about anybody. I never went live and slandered somebody's name and lied about them. Mm-hmm. So what I did, I just addressed it one time and I kept it pushing because I want to help people. Now, if people want to continue to watch, people want to continue to support, that's cool. But I just thought I was treated unfairly when people came at me and said, how dare you, pretty much address it. You're supposed to be about peace. You're supposed to be about unity. Yeah. We look up to you. But nobody ever said anything about them or even questioned their credibility about the things they were saying.
Once again, it goes back to you get what you give. So, you know what I mean? Like, if they were giving you negative energy and you addressed it, that like they were owed that. You had to, state your, but at the same time, like, it's also winning, like, it's also losing, like, you're not going to win this losing battle.
Of course.
Is basically what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. It's pointless.
Right.
Because you have people that are not even, that are trying so hard to still be relevant in the industry that by any means they'll go ahead and try to do whatever they can do.
Very true.
But you just have to know, you just have to know who's who.
Yeah.
And you're in a cutthroat industry.
Yeah, you correctly.
Nobody's your friend. That's it. It is what it is. I can't call any rappers except for the people that I told you. Right. I can't call anybody my friends. I couldn't pick up the phone right now and call any of these rappers and ask them for a favor or ask them to help me if I was stranded somewhere. Like, I couldn't do that.
Right.
It's you're on your own.
Yeah. Well, what I did, I addressed it one time and I moved on. Didn't bring it up again. And I want to thank everybody who, throughout all the whole ordeal, supported me, still watched, because my job here is, once again, to talk about music, to shine light on up-and-coming artists, and to help them take that next step or go up the next level. And that's all I wanted to do, the sad thing is, people were trying to shut me down. But you know what? One thing I will say, and then we'll move on. You just picked with the wrong person because I pushed back.
Caroline. You were waiting for me. I know you were. Caroline. What's up with that though?
I don't know.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm not getting exiled. I'm doing the exiling. Just know that. Anything could lead you to your demise. Remember that. Remember that when you're out there not being humble in the streets.
Yeah, no.
You know,
You're right.
You got people out trying to eat people up like motherfucking Pac-Mans and shit. I gotta go, Tony.
All good. So we come to the conclusion of our interview. But anything lovely that you want to promote, you want to push, you want to remind people of your music, anything. Anything I didn't ask you or anything you want to address or say?
For sure. Well, I mean, thanks for having me back out.
Oh, you're always welcome.
You know, I know there was a lot of bullshit going on prior, but I had to just observe. I had to just step back and observe because there was just too much going on. But you know what's up. You know that me and you already had that conversation, and you know that I support Roadium Radio.
Thank you.
So with that being said, you know, follow my Instagram, official__lovely with 2 Y's. I look out for the albums, Hustle and Heart. The first shall be last. And just support. All I can say is support. That's the biggest thing. I don't want nothing. It don't have to be money. It could be you sharing my video. It could be something simple as that, sharing a post. It doesn't take but 2 seconds, and it doesn't cost you nothing to support an independent artist. I'm truly independent. Everything that I do, that I put out for fans, don't think that's coming out of my pocket. I hustle to pay for that.
Right.
So the video that's coming out, I paid for that. That's part of the industry. You can't complain about it. But what I'm saying, as an independent artist, if you want me to keep giving you content, then support me. Share my shit.
Yeah.
Something.
Absolutely.
Females are on the rise. Just know that. So I got 2 new videos I'm going to be working on. I want to put that out there. So Take Your Mans is out. I got Fuck My Enemies coming out on June 1st. And then I'm going to be working on a video with my boy Young Blacks and my homegirl Thug Angel. And so look out for that. And what else?
And you got that one show coming up?
Oh, yeah, the show on the 27th in Chula Vista. I'm going to post a flyer on my Instagram. I'm just coming out to support my homegirl, Thug Angel, but I'm going to perform that song with her. That's off my album.
Okay.
And let's see. That's pretty much it.
Okay. And when your artist is ready and you would like for her to come get an interview, Alizé, then bring her down and we'll support her here.
Yeah, just a little bit about Alizé. Go follow her. She's actually tagged in my bio. Mm-hmm. Go follow her and support her. She's 19 years old, upcoming R&B singer, and she's climbing up the ladder real fast, and she's got mad talent, and she completed an first album in 8 weeks. She dropped 7 tracks.
That's dope.
And we're working on her first music video, which is called Dago's Love Story, which she made a little video online, and she got like 20,000 views on that. So support her, support your young female independent artists.
Absolutely. With that being said, once again, I want to thank you for coming through and giving us another interview.
For sure.
And I hope that people support you, people follow you, and, are there for your artists as well.
For sure.
With that being said, everybody, Sunday, I have 2 guests, and these guests are driving from far. So you don't want to miss it, but you do want to support them. So I'll be releasing that flyer on, what's tomorrow, Thursday? Friday, so you guys can see who it is. So once again, thank you, lovely.
For sure.
Alizé, everybody that you work with, your producers, Yes. And let me give a shout out to my boy Anthony, the Hip Hop Jedi. Also want to give a shout out to Alex Cervantes Enterprise, and Robert Cervantes, my son B. Scallons, for helping me promote this, and everybody that is on the live chat, everybody who has supported me, everybody who has liked, subscribed, everybody who has commented, negative or positive, it's all good. So you're still here. All the Roadium Radio Warriors, thank you. See you guys Sunday. God bless. We're out of here.
Later.
You got it